Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and report on weird and true mysterious stories, from glitches to the paranormal. Did you know you can support the channel by joining? Something to think about. Now onto the stories. Case file number 939, written by Simple Husky 1, the Lord of Storms and Glitches. I was on a drive up north, alone, exploring the country. I try to take at least 2 trips a year. You never know what you'll see when you get out there and really look. It was a beautiful day. The sky was a clear, pristine blue. I had been on the road for a few hours when suddenly a violent storm rolled out of nowhere. The sky turned dark and the wind was so strong that it was difficult to keep my car on the road. I've been in plenty of storms before, but this one came on so quickly, within a few minutes of seeing dark clouds on the horizon. It was too dangerous to keep driving, so I decided to pull off the road and wait for the storm to pass. I found a small rest area and parked my car. I waited inside for the storm to pass, watching as the rain and hail battered against my windshield. I'm surprised it held together so well. A few dents in the side panel and the driver's side door, that's all. They make car glass pretty damn tough. The storm lasted for about an hour, and when it finally passed, I continued on my way. When I got to my hotel later that night, I looked up the AccuWeather app and wanted to see what they were saying about the storm I had just passed through, just a couple hours ago by this point. But they had reported no such storm. I checked on my laptop, Googled it, tried multiple weather sites. None of them had reported a storm at all in the area I had passed through. It wasn't very late. I try never to drive at night because I can't handle the absurdly bright headlights that all cars seem to have now. Gives me headaches. I went back outside to my car to check to see if the couple dents on the side panel and hood were still there. They were. So what's going on here? My mind and my car is evidence of the storm, but I can't find any info on it anywhere. Case notes for file 939, the Lord of Storms and Glitches. So I was curious about this too, and apparently there is a phenomenon, a real meteorological phenomena called popcorn thunderstorms, where bursts of cool air can rush into a humid environment, and this can create very quick, sudden thunderstorm clouds. Usually they're microbursts, they don't last very long, minutes, not hours. You say that yours lasted about an hour, so I guess it's on the high end of the extreme, but it could be that. It's just odd that no weather service would pick it up. I mean, they all have radar tracking, so they should be able to tell a storm, and there should be some sort of notice about it in the past, I think. And we know it's not a crossover event because damage to your car persisted, so whatever happened really happened in your universe. Maybe it was Zeus paying you a visit or saying, be on your best behavior. Also, I know exactly what you mean about those damn headlights. I don't know what's going on there. Well, I actually do. I looked it up. There's a car lumen intensity, the amount of photons emitted, basically, the energy. It's also shifted more to blue light, which can cause headaches. For me, it does. I have to wear sunglasses outside and during the day or I get migraines. But yeah, there's more lumens in headlights now on average, like 3,000 to 4,000 versus 1,000 to 2,000 20 years ago. And back then, it was more orange-white light instead of the blue light now, which is just piercing. There is some good news though. You can actually buy driving glasses. They have a yellowish tint, and they block out a lot of blue light and also diminish the glare from the headlights, so it's much easier to drive at night and without getting a headache or anything. And you still can see everything. They're not sunglasses. They're made specifically for driving at night. Look them up on Amazon. There's plenty of options. Driving glasses, if car headlights bother you too. Creepy file number 75, written by Anonymous, the Summer Camp of Terror. One summer, I was working as a camp counselor at a remote summer camp deep in the Adirondack woods. It was my first year working at the camp, and I was excited to spend the summer in nature and help guide the children through different activities. To be honest, I was surprised I snagged up the job. I'm not exactly Bear Grylls. First few weeks went by smoothly. The children were having a great time. My camp coworkers were not bothered by my inexperience. Turnover rate is high, so it's expected. But as the weeks went by, there were a few odd things. I would often hear noises at night, like footsteps outside my cabin, even though I knew that everyone else was asleep. Also, things would randomly go missing. Since it was part of my job to ensure that the kids were safe and actually sleeping, I'd do the rounds once at midnight before hitting the hay myself. These noises made me feel unsafe. They were not animal sounds, but I never saw anyone out of place. Until one night, I was sitting outside my cabin, enjoying the peace and quiet of the woods, except for the mating call of the katydids, when I saw two people moving in the distance, clouded in shadows as the moon was barely out. I assumed it was one of my other counselors taking a late-night stroll with Mandy, one of the few female camp workers. But as I got a better look, I saw that it wasn't my coworkers at all. There was a man. He was tall and lanky, at least 6 foot, wearing torn jeans and a shirt 3 sizes too big for him, and exuded a creepy-as-frick vibe. Besides him was a woman, small as a squirrel. She looked emaciated and lost, is the best I can say. They bolted from the tree line towards me. As they reached the cabin porch, they just stood there, looking down at me. The man bent slightly at the knees, but being so tall, he still towered over me sitting in my rocking chair. The woman a few feet away, in front, but not on the porch. Every thought in my brain said, "What the frick are you doing, Becky? Freaking run now or scream or do something." But I couldn't move. I guess I know myself a bit better since this happened. That whole fight or flight thing, there's also paralyzed. The man spoke in barely comprehensible gibberish, at a syllable rate that broke the speed of sound and made Eminem cry. It didn't help that my body was flush with adrenaline. Still, to this day, I can't tell you what he said. All I know is that as he was talking, my legs finally decided to work. I never ran so fast towards the adjacent cabin. To my surprise, the man didn't chase me. The tiny woman did. She was fast and had a look of feralness, if that's even a word. But I made it to the cabin next to mine, which is where the camp leader slept, and did some other administrative work. It was locked, but my voice was back. I was screaming at the top of my lungs the whole sprint and banging on the door. I think they got scared as soon as they saw the lights in the cabin turn on. No idea how close the woman got to me, because I never looked back. I told everyone everything, and no one was surprised. A few coworkers said they thought they had seen people creeping nearby the camp. And keep in mind, there are a few defenses for the camp because so many kids are here. No actual security guards, but there is a perimeter fence that's supposed to have camera coverage. But it's a massive camp, so gaps I'm sure exist. I've had to train my brain to feel safe again, to allow itself to feel safe again. It doesn't want to listen. I always carry pepper spray with me now. Better safe than sorry, right? Case notes for creepy file number 75. The Summer Camp of Terror. Well, you're damn right, it's better safe than sorry. You don't want to take risks where they're not necessary, unless you're a daredevil like me. But yeah, especially as a woman, I would say, take precautions. At least have pepper spray, that's a good option. Although I think pepper spray or tasers don't work on people who are high on mind-altering substances, so maybe carry something a bit more intense, if it's possible in your area. I really do hope you're able to reclaim that sense of peace that everyone should have. At least they didn't break into your home. Like in the summer camp, it's still, you're supposed to feel safe there, but when someone invades someone's home, it's hard to reclaim what was lost there, because you can never feel safe again unless you go to extreme paranoid levels, like having steel reinforced doors and bulletproof glass. I might do that myself, because I want to have a small little cabin, not much space, so it wouldn't be too expensive to do. But yeah, you want to feel secure. There's nothing wrong with that. There's also nothing wrong with the fact that you were initially paralyzed. That happens to a lot of people. Fight or flight or paralyzed. People don't mention the third one. A lot of people just freeze up. So don't feel bad about that. You eventually regained your senses and ran off. So well done. I hope things go well for you from now on. And the end of the video. Another one completed. More stories to tell. They never end. There's just always stories to tell. Which is good for me. I mean, that's what I do. Like the video. If you like it, subscribe, hit the bell. I did lie about donuts. There are no donuts. You never know though. Maybe. Maybe I'm not. Give it a try. It's free.